Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So let us start with voice. Now, what you need to understand about voice is very important. Voice means two types: active and passive voice. Correct? Now, what is an active voice and what is a passive voice? That we need to understand. Okay. Active voice means when the subject is active. Subject means doer of action is active. Passive voice the subject or doer of action passive. Okay. Now I give you example. Suppose I say they run a race. Okay. In this sentence, they is subject. Okay. Run is verb. Okay. And a race is object. Clear? And it's active voice because the subject or doer of action is active. Clear? It's example of active voice. Now, if we change it into passive voice, what will happen? In passive voice, the subject is made object and object is made subject. Correct? So, it will change a race. Okay. Now, they run a race is present indefinite tense. Okay. So accordingly, we will use is MR. So a race is, now we in passive voice we always use third form of the verb. So a race is run by them. They will change into them. Yesterday I told you first, second, third person, and I told you that how the first person, second person, third person is used as subject and as object, okay, and as possessive pronoun. So a race is run by them is passive voice. Here, them, the subject, they change into them and has become passive. What is become of active here? Race. Okay, so it's passive voice. Now, in passive voice also, the structure of the sentence doesn't change. As I told you earlier, a race has now become subject here. Okay. A race is subject. Okay. Is run is, it has become, it has become, or you can say it's already, it's verb. Okay, and by them, so by is preposition and them is objective form of they. Is it clear? So it's subject verb object pattern which we are following in passive voice. So the structure of the sentence hasn't changed as such. Is it clear to you? So students, is it clear to you till now whatever I have told you? Yesterday also I told you a little about active passive voice. Hello. समझ आ रहा है या नहीं आ रहा है? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Yes. So now we have to understand the rules related to how to change active voice into passive voice, how the first person subjective form will be changed. Okay, how first, second, third person will change and all. Okay, so let me tell you the rules related to that so that all of you can understand what I want to tell you. Now I told you the
मैम
various, yes,
मैम वो डोर के डोर ऑफ एक्शन इज पैसिव
doer of action.
हाँ
Now in active voice, they run
वो
a race. They is subject, ठीक है? They comes first, they run a race. So they is important na, because the sentence is talking about them, they. Okay, here in passive voice, race becomes important na, a race is run by them. Clear? So they has become passive, while in the active voice they is active. Is it clear now?
मैम डूअर मतलब
Doer means करने वाला ना, do.
ओके
जैसे प्ले से प्लेयर, वैसे डू से डूअर. इज इट क्लियर? हेलो.
यस मैम क्लियर क्लियर
हाँ, हम प्ले वर्ब से प्लेयर बनाते हैं ना, खेल खिलाड़ी से डू मीन्स करना होता है, डू डूअर, डूअर मीन्स काम करने वाला.
यस मैम
Please mute yourself. That's why I mute, because but then I will not come to know whether you are understanding or not. That's why I have to unmute you as well. Acha, I have told you about that conference. Now, if anybody is interested, can participate in the conference, because उसमें short film और documentary भी बनाना है, या presentation भी कर सकते हो आप. If you want to participate, you can, because 100 rupee registration fee, but then you can claim from the college, you will get it back, 100 rupee. Okay, so what I was telling you is that active and passive voice, how to change rules related to active and passive voice. Now a sentence in active voice, okay, if is of present indefinite tense, okay, so it will be changed into is mr. According to the subject we will use is mr. Okay, if it's singular then we will use is, if it's plural we will use r. Okay, I, with I we will always use m, with you always use r. Okay, is mr plus v3. V3 means third form of the verb will be used. Okay, so when I use a race is singular, so I use is. Okay, and then I use third form of the verb run. Run's third form is also run only. Okay, so ijmr plus verb's third form, and then we will, I told you that subject will become object and object will become subject. That rule will be there. And then they will change into, I will change into me. Okay. He will change into him. She will change into her. Okay. and they will change into them. Is it clear? So that you need to keep in mind. If it is present indefinite tense, sorry, present continuous tense, then how it will change? It will change. I'm giving you example. Suppose I say, I am teaching grammar. Okay. Now this is example of present continuous tense, which is active voice. I am teaching grammar is active voice, correct? Now how you will change it into passive voice? Grammar is I is subject. Grammar is this is example of active voice. Okay. Now here, if I see I is subject, okay, am teaching is object, no, sorry, verb. Okay, and grammar is object. Is it clear? Now if we change it into passive voice, how it will change? Grammar object will become subject, correct? So grammar, now I told you in present tense we will be using ijmr only. Here we have used I am na, because with I we can use am only. So grammar, with grammar we will be using is, and because it is continuous tense, so teaching will be teach plus ing na. So grammar is being, be plus ing, being, and then we will use third form of teach, that is taught by me. Clear? So now this is example of passive voice. It's clear? Here grammar is subject. I was active in active voice, subject. Here grammar is here grammar has become active while me has become passive. Okay. So here grammar is subject now. Okay, is being taught is verb. Okay, and me is object, which me is passive, while I am in I am it was active. Okay, so like they is subjective pronoun which can be used as subject, while them is the pronoun which can be used as object. I can be used as subject, while me can be used as object only. Me can't be used as subject. Is it clear? I hope it's clear to you. So by me has me is object. सबको क्लियर हुआ what I have told about active passive voice a little? Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. एक्टिव वॉइस से पैसिव वॉइस में चेंज करना कुछ समझ आया? फर्स्ट थिंग यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड इज
Yes.
सब्जेक्ट विल बिकम ऑब्जेक्ट, ऑब्जेक्ट विल बिकम सब्जेक्ट, है ना? The subject in the active voice will become object, and the object in active voice will become subject in passive voice. Clear? And verbs third form will be used, okay, always in passive voice. So present continuous tense में what we do, we use is, am, are, plus being plus verbs third form. Is it clear? सबको समझ आ रहा है ना? Have you noted down this much? Can I erase it?
Yes, ma'am. You can.
So this was related to present indefinite tense and present continuous tense. You have already done voicage up to 12th, but because it's prescribed in the syllabus, and so I'm doing a revision type. Okay. Now we go to present perfect tense. In present perfect tense, what is the structure of a sentence and how it will be changing? Let me see. If I say she has completed her homework. Okay. So it's active voice. As I already told you that when we change from active voice to passive voice, we make subject object and object subject. Here in this sentence, her homework is what? It's object, correct? So it will become subject in passive voice, correct? No? So her homework will become its her homework is object, which will become subject. Has completed is verb. And she is subject. So has completed is verb and she is subject. Now as I told you that subject becomes object and object becomes subject. So her homework now has completed will change into has been completed and her homework has been completed by her. Now it's passive voice. Okay. So she became passive in passive voice. She was active in active voice. Her homework has become active. So in present perfect tense, what we do? Has, we use has, have been plus verb's third form. Clear? When we change from active voice to passive voice. Now we come to next type of sentence. What is the structure of present perfect continuous tense? It's like, suppose I say, the gardener has been watering the plants since 9 a.m. Okay. Oh, sorry. Now this is in active voice, no? Can it be changed to passive voice? Now see this type of sentence structure. Yahan, in this sentence, we are already using has been, which we were using when we change present perfect tense, sentence of present perfect tense from active voice to passive voice. Clear? Now we are also using watering. Okay. So present perfect tense will not change into passive voice because here has been is already there. Okay. And watering is also there. Is it clear? So for the voice, present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense, there will be no change. I mean, no change from active to passive voice. Okay, it can't be changed from active voice to passive voice. Is it clear to you? Present perfect continuous change tense, no change. Okay, समझ आ गया आपको सबको? Now we
Yes,
go to
ma'am.
past tense. In past tense, we talk about first past indefinite tense. Okay, what is past indefinite tense? So when we talk about past indefinite tense, now past indefinite tense example I can give. Sunita wrote a letter to me. Suppose I, so in this sentence, there are two objects. Okay. Sunita wrote a letter to me is example of past indefinite tense, where Sunita is subject. Okay. wrote, Sunita is subject, wrote is verb, okay, and wrote is verb second form. So it's we verb V2, okay, verb second form. A letter is object, and me is also object. Okay, and another object is so here two objects are there. Now we can change you. I told you in from active voice to passive voice when we use a sentence. So this is active voice example of active voice, and when we will change from active voice to passive voice, we make object subject, correct? So we can make changes from active voice to passive voice in two ways because here there are two objects. First, let us take a letter. So we will say a letter. Okay. Now, in present indefinite tense, we used to use is MR. Here we will use what we will use. We will use instead of using is MR, we will use what we will use was or were, and then we will use verbs third form. Okay, so a letter was written, okay, to me. To me will be kept as it is. A letter was written to me by Sunita. So this has become passive voice. Is it clear? Now, another way, now if we take me as object, then we will say I was written, okay, a letter by Sunita. Now, both these sentences are example of passive voice only. Okay, by using different objects. In the first sentence, I have used the first object, a letter, and in the second sentence, I have used the object me, and I have changed it into subject. Is it clear to every one of you? So
Yes, ma'am.
how we will be changing present indefinite tense and a sentence with double object into passive voice. Okay. Now we come to present continuous. It remains same the way we have done. Sorry, present nahi, past continuous. It remains the same the way we have done. In the present tense, present continuous tense, here we will be using was, were, plus being, okay, and plus verbs third form. Okay, so if I say he was eating an apple, so it will change into an apple was being eaten by him. Okay, so I hope now it's clear to you how to change a sentence in active voice in a particular tense to a passive voice. Is it clear or not to everyone? Hello.
क्लियर है मैम?
सबको समझ आया ना कि
Yes, ma'am.
एक्टिव वॉइस से पैसिव वॉइस और पैसिव वॉइस से एक्टिव वॉइस भी कैसे बनाना है. An apple was being eaten by him. Now if this sentence is given to you, or suppose I give you another sentence, for example, the sweet has been tasted by the guests. Okay, now instead of has been, let me use had been. So it's example of past perfect tense, okay, which is in passive voice. So how you will change it? The by the guest, na? So by the guest, when we say, it means guest will come first in active voice. So the guest had tasted the sweet. Clear? So this way we will change from active voice to passive voice and from passive voice to active voice. I am ending the lecture now. Okay. Who has kept the mic connected? Siddharth. Okay, I am ending the lecture now. I hope this much is clear to every one of you.